Hello, 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 and welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is Coach Vic. This is Ponty Your Party. Welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate all those who are like, sharing, subscribing to the videos, those who are sending emails, those who are making comments. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. I'm really, really excited. I know we haven't talked to each other in a couple of days, and it's really because I've been in the lab. It would behoove me. It would be dishonest of me to give you all this information, to give you all these updates, and tell you all these things to do, and not be going through this process myself, and then not be going through the lab experience, not be going through the cave experience, and not be going through opportunities to better improve myself. And so I took time out to do that this weekend, and so now we're back on track, and we're back getting into things we really want to do. Like I said, this is Coach Vic. This is Ponty Your Party. I want to thank you all for coming and for joining me today. We're going to talk about the path of least resistance. We're going to talk about making yourself better. We're going to talk about moving into your greater. And as we talk about it, I want to talk. The path of least resistance is both good and bad. It has both good aspects and bad aspects. And so from the bad aspects. We talk about it from the Bible standpoint. Like I said, I keep telling you guys, I'm a Christian, very devout Christian. Man of God, I believe in God, and everything that I do centers around God God, Jesus Christ being the center and leader of my life. Matthew 7:13 says, "This enter by the narrow gate, for the gate that is wide, and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many." And so I want to talk to you about following the crowd. Following the crowd will get you off course. And it will lead you down the path of least resistance from the standpoint, from the negative standpoint. The negative standpoint is that when we're going down the path of least resistance, we're not actually exercising our strength. We're not actually giving ourselves an opportunity to grow, to build, or to improve. We're just doing what is easy to us. They call it low-hanging fruit. We find ourselves getting into low-hanging fruit and reaching up for only things we can grab. We don't extend ourselves. We don't really dig deeper, into who we are. We don't find out more about ourselves. We go about life, kind of in an easy way, without any kind of challenges to ourselves, without any kind of self-improvement or acts of self-dedication. And so what happens when we take the path of least resistance, it is called this. The path of least resistance is the physical or metaphorical pathway that provides the least resistance to forward motion by a given object or entity among a set of alternative paths. And basically, you have, and I love it in one of my favorite movies is The Matrix. When they talked about the red and the blue pill. The blue pill, you go back to life as it was. This never happened, and you live your life, and you just continue to be who you are. The red pill, gives you, it's like the challenges. It gives you you find that you go into this alternate opportunity to find out more of who you are. You dig deeper into this, and you discover your true self. And so it is really, really, really funny. But when we're trying to build a future for ourselves, we have to understand what we're made of. We have to understand what our intentions are. We have to understand our intentions, our words and our intentions and our actions line up with one another. And so it's important for us to really begin to know more about who we are. And you can't, and on the negative side of the path of least resistance, you can't find out who you are if you don't dig deeper into what you really are. And so you ask yourself some questions. Can you depend on you? Can you trust you when no one else is available? What are you made of? Is your will to succeed stronger than your desire to quit when things don't go as planned? Are you willing to push the envelope of your successes to greater heights so that you can discover your unknowns, or are you easily satisfied by taking the small wins of low-hanging fruit with little to no struggle and with no expectations? And then the question is, what's in you? What is really in you? And so I talk about this from the negative standpoint because it's important for us to understand that when we're going on the path of least resistance, we're not always going to. There's not really any challenges there. Everything comes easy. There's nothing that's going to push you to be better. There's nothing that's going to, it's kind of like working out without a partner and without any knowledge of what working out really is. You go into the gym, you pick up a couple of weights, you just do a couple of things. You feel like you did something, your muscles feel like they've been exercised, and then you leave. there's no real challenge to you doing it. There's no there's no structure, there's no order, there's no discipline. And through taking the path of least resistance, it often leads you to a life that is undisciplined. Now, on the other side of that, there's a positive side to the path of least resistance, which Bruce Lee talked about. Talked about the flow. Having all of your using the least amount of your energy in order to accomplish something, but using the energy of the opponent against him or herself in order for you to be able to move forward. And so that side is the positive of the path of least resistance. But in order to get to that point, you have to understand the negative side of it. You have to understand, that is all about you understanding more of who you are. That's all about you you've dug deep. You've already done the work. You've already understood how you work. You already understood how your energy works. You already understood your own flow. And so to get to that point, it requires you to not take the path of least resistance in the very beginning, so that you can get to the point of being able to move in what you want to move in. When I was in class this weekend, we talked about the path of least resistance, and we're talking. And I actually also saw a couple of other people on YouTube and on other platforms speak about this and speak about it as a path to failure. And oftentimes we don't understand that taking easy wins, it's good in the interim. But if that's all you're built for, if that's all you're made of, then eventually you're going to set yourself up for failure, because you're going to come up against something that's going to challenge you, and you're not going to know what's inside of you to actually move into or move past that challenge. And so it's important for you to really, during your cave experience, during your lab experience, during your goal actualization, to really begin to understand what is inside of you. What do you have inside of you? What are you made of? What can you count on? What can you depend on? What is your strength when it comes time for you to have to really move into something that you're not used to moving into? And this is why I asked the question, can you trust yourself when no one else is available? When you have to do it on your own, when you have to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning every day, when you have to go out and you have to run that 10K or that 20K or however far you run, and then you need to go that one extra kilometer, that one extra mile. Do you have it in you to do it? Do you have the will in you to move forward, to continue to fight even when things are not going the way you want them to go? This is important. This is very, very important. And if you don't have that will, if you don't have that desire, or if you don't know whether you have it or not, if you don't know whether you can do it or not, and you've never tried and you've never pushed past the points that you used to push, and that you need to push past in order to get to that point, then when it comes time for you to need it, you're not gonna know if you have it or not. And so it is important for you to begin to build your will now, begin to build your understanding now, begin to build the knowledge of who you are now. And this is what one of the purposes of finding your 40. It is going from your known, going from your 40, whatever, 40 push-ups, 40 minutes, 40 sets, whatever it is you can do, and then pushing into your unknown. Beginning to structure your day, beginning to structure your diet, beginning to structure your balance, beginning to structure your understanding, so that you know exactly where you're going, and you can begin to push into new realms of who you are, so you can begin to push into new realms of opportunity for what you want to do. And this is what I really want you to get from this program, is that no matter what happens, you can depend on yourself to step up to the plate and do what needs to be done when the time comes, because you know what's inside of you. This is the thing that I really want you to get from the program, what I really want you to get from Coach Vic, because it is important for you to know what you're made of and what's inside of you, so that when it comes time for you to move and whatever you move into, you're not dealing with false expectations, and you're not giving anybody else any false impressions. And if you don't have it, then you don't have it. But it's better for you to know that you don't have it rather than to assume that you do, or rather than to tell somebody you do, when you know you haven't been moving in that direction to know whether you have it or not. And then this is important, it's very critical, because there are some jobs that require us to do more. There are some parts of life that require more of us. There are some things that when we're climbing the ladder of success, we're going to have to have more than we used to having. We're going to have to push past places we've never been before. We're going to have to push into realms that we don't operate in frequently. And you have to ask yourself, do I have this in me? When you're climbing a mountain, you can't just, without any kind of without any kind of training, without any kind of exercising, just go on a mountain and climb all the way to the top of the mountain because there's going to come a time where when you're climbing, where the air is going to become thinner. You got to learn. You got to change your breathing. You got to change your technique. You got to change your strategy. You got to change your pace. And if you never push past the very lowest levels of life, of your being, of your understanding, then you're not going to know whether or not you have that in you. And so it requires training. When people are racing, racing for a 5K, they don't run 5 kilometers and that's it. They run 10 kilometers, they run 20 kilometers because they're training themselves to breathe so that when they get to a point where they're having to compete against somebody else and somebody else kicks in, maybe start to kick early, do I have it in me to even have a kick? And if I have a kick, is my kick going to be strong enough to keep up with this person that's going to kick early or go more? This is what we're doing this for. We're doing this because we want to become better, but we're doing it because we need to know what's inside of us. And then we need to be able to give what's inside of us to others. Let your light so shine before men so that they see your good works. And if you don't know how to shine your light in the darkest moments, if you don't know if you have a light in the darkest moments, then you're going to be in the dark. And this is why it's important for us not to take the path of least resistance in the beginning, so that we can get to a place where everything becomes easy for us because we know ourselves, because we understand what we're bringing, we understand who we are, we understand how to get to those deeper parts of us when we need to drag those parts out. And this is what it's all about. This is why the path of least resistance in the beginning is dangerous, but in the end is where you're going to end up, because you will end up knowing exactly who you are, what you bring, and how to get to, and everything will become easier for you. Even the battles become easier because you know that it's required. Even the situations and circumstances in your life become easier because you know how to deal with them because you dealt with them on the most basic level and on levels of understanding that you didn't have before. And so today, I, Coach Vic, I'm challenging you to not enter by the broad gate, to not go the same way that everyone else is going, because it's going to take you off course. I'm challenging you today, as I challenge myself also, to go down the path of the path of resistance. It's time for us to work on the negatives. The negatives in the gym. If you've ever been a bodybuilder, if you ever worked out and go in the gym, you put more on the bar than you can handle, than you can lift, and you have partners or teammates that are with you, one on each side, or you might have just one workout partner above you, and they're pulling with you, but you're pushing with everything you have, and then they're adding the extra. Let me say that again. You're pushing with everything you have, and they add the extra. They're not pulling with everything they have, and you add the extra, because you're not getting the benefit of it. You're pushing with everything you have, they add the extra, and you're actually completing the set, doing that, pushing with with all you have, and then they're adding the extra, and that's one. And then you do that until whatever many you decided you're gonna do. But this is how you get stronger. This is how you begin to cut. They begin to cut your teeth, so to speak, into who you are, because you find out what is inside of you. You find out, what you have to offer and how much more you can give. And then when you give it all, you're all you have this time isn't enough, but next time it'll be more than enough because you've done the work. And this is really what I want you to get out of this program. This is what I'm striving to get out of the program myself, is that we've done the work. And so now we've not taken the five positions in the beginning, because when we are satisfied with this low-hanging fruit successes, and we don't push ourselves further, then when it comes time for us to actually battle for something, we don't know if we have enough in us in order to improve or in order to win those victories. And life is about living victoriously. No matter what the challenge is, no matter what the circumstance is, we must push past all of those things into our greater. This is Coach Vic. This is Part of Your 40. Keep pushing, keep pressing. Use every opportunity you have to be able to move into what you need to move into so that you can become greater. The greatest version of yourself will be a blessing to you and to others around you because you'll be bringing your best self to the table every single day. And that consistency is what is going to be a blessing in itself. But it's also going to allow you to be successful in everything you do. Be consistent. Be a blessing to others. And remember, no matter what happens, be the best version of you every single day. God bless you. Have a good day today. And this Coach Vic Founding Important. Like, share, subscribe to this video. And I'm here with you. Send your messages, send your emails, set up Zoom meetings, and we'll continue this. I don't mind at all. I'm ready to help you be better because I'm pushing myself just better as well. God bless you and have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.